time for package from China. Hey, welcome back to the channel, welcome back to the Wicked Gamer and Collector. So in today's video we are going to talk about the game box or the single player Pandora's box. This thing comes in many forms and comes with many different Pandora boxes, but this version has the Pandora box 9H built inside. Alright, so let's open it up and let's see what we're going to get. So everything is packed up very well. And like all the other Pandora boxes, there are some little things that you're always getting with these things. For example, we're getting some spare buttons, HDMI cable, and this thing is pretty long, and USB, because it seems to be that we can connect this thing to an Xbox 360, PlayStation 3. Did try it with something, but with some Pandora boxes, we're not a big fan of it. We're having here this deluxe toilet paper manual. Yes people, we're having a Chinese manual explaining how the system works, better said, how you can add games. It seems to be that this thing has an extra manual because this is the Pandora box 9. This is more like the basic manual that you're always going to get, the deluxe edition. And if you want to know how to connect this thing to your arcade one-up, for example, we're having this little overview. So regarding the specifications, this is something I need to mention. I already did in comparison with the Pandora Game 3D versus the 9H. And the 9H, I must say, it's not, let's say, a very slow board, but it comes with an all-winner H9 that is basically in quad core. It's, must say, pretty powerful, but it's more like the budget edition on the Pandora boxes. We're having here the power supply. I really have no clue why they give me this, because this is just the European plug. Keep in mind, when you're buying the product like this, that you're always clicking on the right power supply, otherwise you're going to get the wrong one. It's just a basic 12 volts, so it's not a big of an issue. It's just a pretty universal power supply. Alright, so here we have the joystick itself. Again, it's packed up very well. This is more like, I'm getting a feeling that's more like an horror stick. If you're familiar with arcade sticks. Wow. And this is what we call a single player Pandora box fun. Alright, so I removed all the little pockets over here simply because I wanted to remove all the cardboard or the protection foil. And I can tell you that's first of all a very big nightmare. But it didn't help at all. So if you want to remove the plate, you always need to open it. So what you're going to do is remove all of these parkers, and when you are done, you are able to open it up. Alright, so let's turn it around. Be very gentle. But the first thing that I'm noticing is that the upper plate, or the case itself, is fully made of plastic. And the bottom is made of metal, so there are a little bit of cheating. But this gives the weight to the system itself. I think it's not a big of an issue, but just want to mention it. So if you need to replace a button, or there is something wrong, you can always reach the buttons itself, or you can just replace them very easily. Here at the inside we're finding the Pandora box 9H. And here you can see this is connected to the little speaker over here. This is connected to the on and off switch, and as you can see, player 2 has been connected to this. Yeah, this is basically a sort of kind of VGA cable. Very strange that they're giving you this option. I don't know if there are sellers who sell let's say just a joystick that you connect to it. So that's I think the most common problem with these things, that you can buy them in a kit. And buying one loose is always a little bit of a problem. And here we have the speaker that is only mounted with 2 parkers. But nevertheless, it's pretty loud, and I think I'm guessing it's around 5 watts. So this is what we're going to get with the arcade stick. There are a lot of buttons, just the things you're going to need. So the joystick itself is just like this Sanwa clone. I must say, they are not really bad. It's not the cheap Wicked Wiggle stick that I find in some of these Pandora boxes. I'm very happy that they chose this fake Sama clone. The buttons got an, I must say, a clicky touch, just what we can expect with these Pandora boxes. And here at the side we're having some extra buttons for the pause, coin and start. I personally never seen these on the 2-player cabinets, so this is the first time I'm seeing these buttons. So this is what you're going to need, because beside the start and the coin, the pause button is going back into the menu, or you're going to ask for the menu to pop up, and sometimes you can even quick load, quick save. Alright, at the back we're finding the on and off switch, the input for the power supply, HDMI out, VGA out, audio jack out, volume control, little button for going to the settings, USB. This can be used for the USB cable that I've shown you before, if you want to connect it to a game system, or you can maybe use controllers. And when I'm saying maybe, some of the boards support it, some don't. We're having here the VGA connection for Play 2. A little bit strange to be honest. China, please give us normal connections so we can connect, let's say, a MadCat stick or something else. Alright, so what I really like about these Pandora boxes is basically plug and play. Alright, let's power it up. So it's very silent. That is something that is very unique because some of the mainboard little fans making a lot of noise. Right, so this is the intro screen. Sounds pretty good. Fun fact, this thing has the same intro like Pandora game 3D. So when the system is boot up, this is what you're going to get. So the new 9H is a big improvement if you compare it with the older versions. To begin with is the layout itself. So here at the right we're finding the preview. When you move to the next game it loads up a new video. Here you can see you having all games, so basically this is the one big messy list. Personally I never use it, I really hate it. Alright, we have it categorized. So we have it categorized systems. We can move to the right. That's it. So we're having a lot of different supportive games like NES, Super NES, PC Engine, N64, MAME, Neo Geo. There's a lot of stuff the 9H is supporting. I just need to point out, and this is something that is very important, this version has Tekken 6 but it doesn't run very well because the Pandora game 3D, for example, has an octa-core inside and is way more powerful. And this thing is only in quad-core. So it's on this, but just forget it's on here because it's basically unplayable. Just want to say it already. Alright, when going to the recent, here we can normally see the games or basically somebody has played. You, me. Search engine. Finally we have a search option. This is something totally new to the Pandora line. And it works like a charm. For example, we want to have Mortal Kombat. We go to the M-O-R-T. Let's see if we can find some games. So as you can see, these are the games that are on this device. Alright, so let's talk about the setting menu. There are some little things that can be very interesting. For example, if you go to the key settings, here we can see we can do the EO testing. If you have any problems, you can also check if there is a button problem or connection problem. Here we have redefined keys. If you don't like the button mapping, you can change it over here. But keep in mind, and that's an epic fail, if you map it differently, it's not only for one game, it's for every single game. So that is the biggest problem with these Pandora boxes. Alright, so we're having select mode, auto exit, but image optimization, there is something new. We are always having this HD, this polish version of an image filter, but now we're having scan lines. So that is totally new. We're having some different languages, but most of them are all Asian. So I think we will all use English. And here we have the account information, enter game settings. That is something I need to show you. Here we have different information like you can adjust the difficulty, lives, etc. And here we have account management. If you want to use this main board inside an arcade machine. Alright, let's crack on the volume and let's play some games. But what is the problem with this quick load quick save system, that it's not available for every single game, or better said every single system. So that is a little bit of an epic fail and they messed it up again. Alright, so let's try the arcade version of Mortal Kombat, because this is always the best test to test if this thing is capable of running more like an, let's say, an extra demanding game. But what is so strange, if you're having the Pandora Box 6, it reloads almost instant, and with the Pandora 9H it takes freaking forever. Huh. Alright, so you can hear with the Bloody R2 that is a pretty high demanding game, that it struggles a little bit, and I did notice, and you can hear the little frame drop. So PlayStation is not perfect. The stick is great for button bashing. Sounds like a charm. Whoa! Glitching like shit. Come on, bring it on. Ooh. Alright, so it's possible when you're getting the 9H, it doesn't even contain PSP games. But I'm just showing you this because this one does have, and I just wanted to show you how it runs. Oh, this is bad. I think you've seen enough. Alright, so this is what we're going to get with the single player Pandora box or game box. Alright, I really like the quality itself. If you look at the plastic uppercase, more like a horror arcade stick if you ask me or Mad Cats. So the weight comes from the metal plate on the bottom. It got very nice rubbery feet and it stays very well on your table. Nice joystick, cool buttons. Personally, I would recommend just buying a stick button if you can, or you want to use this on an older game system. I can try it maybe in the future, but so far I know there is no support for PlayStation 4 and Xbox One X, for example. This is what you're going to get. The 9H is not the best mainboard out there. I recommend buying one, for example, with the Pandora Games 3D, because this mainboard is way more powerful and run, for example, PSP way better. All the other little things like glitches with Killer Instinct, it's still an emulated problem, and it doesn't really matter what version you are going to buy. I want to thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, hit that little bell, and become one of the Wicked family. And that means I will see you in my next video.